Yo, what's up, you guys? This is gonna be our first ever card opening on Twitch. I've never done one of these before, so kind of just keep up. Can you guys still see the card? If it's like that, if I hold it like that, okay, hang on. We're gonna adjust the camera and get some music for you guys. We're gonna do some lo-fi because it's late at night. Okay. Sorry for no camera reactions. We're gonna just show you the cards that I get. You guys, just bear with me here. Okay. Just adding a couple of things as well. Where's my alert box? I want that added. Updated. That source. Perfect. Okay. So, what if I did an example of a card? I'm just gonna do a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I know this is ironic, not on topic, but okay, you guys can see the card, but if I bring it up closer, sorry, I gotta angle it better, like that. Okay, if I do like that, that's perfect. Okay. Alright, chat. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Get this box opened up. There's gonna be a lot to go through tonight, so we're gonna be up for quite a bit. Well, let me get my link out to those who are watching. Okay. Just a few seconds. I'm sending out the links to my Twitch to people I know. Attach to snap. There we go. Alright. Send to the friends that I think that will watch. Bam, 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 bam. I'm just gonna get my streak sent out. Sorry about this, you guys, for the wait. We're almost there. Almost there. I just had to get my link for Twitch sent out. Okay. Everybody should have it. We are good to go. Alright. Let's get the packs out of the box. There's going to be a lot to unpack here. A lot of them. And we got one bonus play booster because I went to the pre-release. And since I didn't win any matches, they still gave me one of these for an extra. So that's still really nice. So shout out to my local game store for that. Alright. Let's go ahead and start opening these babies up. You guys want to know of a card or want me to explain or read the card, you guys can ask. If not, we're kind of just going to go through this. Might take some time, but I'm excited. I know you guys are. This is our first one. Let's go ahead and begin, boys and girls that are watching. And I'll just kind of set these off to the side on top of my binder. So we got a spirit token. Okay. A land. Bear of Glory. I've gotten so many of those from the pre-release event. Ooh, hello. Stadium Headliner. Mobilize 1. pay a 1 generic, 1 red, sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature. It's not bad. And it's a goblin. A buddy of mine's gonna love that card. He has a goblin deck and he's gonna really enjoy that card. Okay, next one is Yathan Tomb Guard. Okay, has Menace. It's a human warrior. Whenever a creature you control with a counter on it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Alright. I'm gonna keep the tokens and lands separate. Alright, there we go. Alright. Next card is Veteran Ice Climber. Not bad. Vigilance, this creature can't be blocked. Whenever this creature attacks, up to 1 target player mills cards equal to this creature's power. Next we have Sun Pearl Kyrian Flash Flying. When this creature enters, return up to 1 target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it was a token, draw a card. Frontier Bovalok. That's... honestly, I'm so glad I have multiple of those because I plan on making a Tamir deck. And I figured that this is going to be a really good land for Tamir. So I'm really happy that I pulled that. Let's see what else we get next, boys and girls. Dusyut Earth Carver Reach. When this creature enters and endures 3, put 3/1/1 counters on it, or create a 3/3 white spirit creature token. And I'm checking Snapchats. I'm getting replies like crazy. Alright. See our next card. We got Tamir Tonback. Whenever this creature enters, you draw a card, then discard a card. That's actually not a bad card. That's also in Tamir. And Tamir is a deck I'm kind of planning on running, so that's going to be a really nice card. Especially if I wasn't building like a Tamir Dragon theme, it'd be really good in my, or just any other Tamir deck if I were to build one. Okay. Next up, we got, oh, a green zombie. Sultai Devotee has Death Touch. You pay 1, add black, green, or blue, and activate only each turn. Sweet. Alright. We're just gonna keep going. Adorned Crocodile. When this creature dies, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Wow. And it has Renew. Pay black, exile this card from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. Alright. Not bad. Up next, we have Wild Ride. Target creature gets a +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. If you harmonize, and so harmonizing is basically you may cast this card to your graveyard for its harmonized cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power, then exile the spell. So you would pay 4 generic, 1 red, equaling 5 mana to harmonize. Up next, we have Coordinated Maneuver. Choose 1. Coordinated Maneuver deals damage equal to number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. Destroy target enchantment. So you get to choose one of those. That's not bad. Alright. And to our final card of this pack is going to be Riverwalk Technique. Choose 1. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library and counter target non-creature spell. That's not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, next pack. You guys want more of these card openings? Please leave a like. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. This is my first one ever. Okay, so we got a token. This is just going to go to the side here with my tokens and named lands. We have Mountain. Next. Oh! Narset Jeskai Waymaster. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand. If you do, you draw cards equal to the number of spells you've casted this turn. Okay. That's interesting. We got... Oh! Songcrafter Mage in Tamir. Flash. When this creature enters, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains Harmonize until end of turn. Its Harmonize cost is equal to its mana cost. That sounds interesting. Alright. Up next, we have Attune Hunter. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Sultai Monument. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic swamp, forest, or island card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So you can pay 2 generic, a black, green, and a blue, which costs 5 mana in total. Tap it, sack this artifact, create 2/2 black zombie druid creature tokens, and activate only as a sorcery. Up next, we have Furious Forebear. Whenever a creature you control dies, while this card is in your graveyard, you may pay 1 generic, 1 white. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Sweet. Yo, Milo26, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Alright. Creature Human Cleric. You may pay X in a black, tap it, pay X life. This creature endures X, activate only as a sorcery. Put X plus 1/1 counters on it, or create an XX white spirit creature token. And I'd imagine... Oh, for X on this card, I think X is where more mana, yeah, it's the additional mana cost you pay. So if you pay, so say you pay 1 black to tap this ability, then extra, the more mana you tap, the more you put that much mana from that to counter. So say I tapped 7, just say 7 swamps, right? I pay 7 life, and then this creature endures 7, activate only as a sorcery, and then you put 7 1/1 counters on it, or create a 7/7 white spirit creature token, if that makes any sense to anybody. Up next, we have Does Yet Earth Carver. It's a 5 generic, 1 green, and it's an elephant druid. Reach. When this creature enters and endures 3, put 3 1/1 counters on it, or create a 3/3 white spirit creature token. We have next Summit Intimidator. It is a Yeti. Reach. When this creature enters, target creature can't block this turn. Oops. That scared me a bit. The card almost fell out of my hand. We got up next Dispelling Exhale. Instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may behold a dragon. You may choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. And you counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If a dragon was beheld, counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. I saw somebody at my table during the pre-release, and man, this card I might actually throw in Tamir, especially for 2-drop. That's really nice in blue for just a common card. Up next, we have Snakeskin Veil. Instant green. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn, and it can't be target of spells or abilities your opponents control. Up next, we have another Nightblade Brigade. Alright, I had gotten so many of these from my pre-release pack. Death Touch Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create tapped an attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. When this creature enters, you surveil one. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard, or you just may put it back on the top of your library, which is what I've done when I surveil. So, funny thing about this card, my buddy had bought the precon for Zergo, and what I was going to tell him was that if he has Ishin, he can trigger this twice. So that my buddy's going to love this common card. He goes by the name of Tiny Web, which is kind of sweet. Pretty cool name. That's a black card. I need to put those with my mono black cards. There we go. Alright, next card. We got Twin Bolt. 1 generic, 1 red. Twin Bolt deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. And final one of that pack is Fortress King Guard. Interesting dog soldier. So my friend that I work with, she has a dog deck. And if she wanted to, she could throw this in there. And it's, when this creature enters and endures one, you put a 1/1 counter on it, or you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. Alright, let's go to our next pack, shall we? Alright. Spirit token. Pretty obvious one. Alright. We have land, Swift Water Cliffs. When this land enters, tap. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. Dude, they did, honest to God, Wizards of the Coast, they did so well with these lands, where they enter, you gain 1 life, or you could choose to tap it for blue or red. They did so well with that, I'm gonna be honest. Up next, we have Durgar Island Dragon. Skimming Strike. For its omen cost, instant tap up to 1 target creature, draw a card, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. It has flying, ward 2. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. Excuse me again, I got the hiccups for a little bit. It's gonna be so hard to communicate and talk when I read these cards. We got Smile at Death, mono white, mythic. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard up to the battlefield and put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures. That sounds interesting. Alright, up next we have Kishula Travelers. When this creature enters, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. When you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Sandstep Citadel, that's a land. Breaching Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana value is 8 or less. If you don't, put that card into your hand. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand, which means you can bounce this back. That's nice. We got Enroaching Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. So that's similar to Breaching Dragonstorm. Kind of the same as that, but in green. Alright, up next we have Summit Intimidator. I already read that card, but basically I'm just going to view it to you guys. It's just when this creature enters, target creature can't block this turn. Up next we have Dustyat Earthcarver. I explained this card already, but basically it's just when this creature enters, endures 3, put 3 1/1 counters on it, or create a 3/3 white spirit creature token. Just more dupes. What else do we got next? Kin Tree Nurturer, Lifelink. When this creature enters and endures 1, put a 1/1 counter on it or create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. Up next we have Narset's Rebuke. 4 generic, 1 red. Narset's Rebuke deals 5 damage to target creature. You add a blue, red, white. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Alright, up next. Salt Road Pack Beast. 5 generic, 1 white. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. When this creature enters, draw a card. We we have Ice Ridge Serpent. Interesting. When this creature enters, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. And for the final one of that pack, we have Sultai Devotee, Zombie Snake Druid. I think I've already explained this card, but I'm just going to read it again. Has Death Touch. Pay 1, add black, green, or blue. Activate only once each turn. Oofda. How we feeling, chat? How we feeling? I'm excited to see what we pull. I really am. There's some cards in here that I really want. But, anyway. We have Irration Sunshield. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Pay 1 white, tap target creature. That's cool. Molten Exhale. We have, you may cast a spell as though it had flash if you behold a dragon. As an additional cost to cast it to behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control, or reveal a dragon card from your hand. Molten Exhale deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Worthy cost, I got this from my pre-release pack. Basically what this card does is, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you sacrifice a creature, so you could so basically if it's you casting it, you sack one of your creatures, then you get to exile target creature or planeswalker, so it could be one of your own, or it could be a target opponent. Okay, we have Sagu Pummeler. Reach, Renew. 4 generic 1 green, exile this card from your graveyard, put 2 1/1 counters, any reach counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. We have Unending Whisper. 1 blue, sorcery, draw a card, harmonize. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its harmonize cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that spell that cost by X, where X is its power, then exile this spell. That's not bad. I like the sound of that. Reigning Victor. Okay, that's a Mardu. Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, you create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. When this creature enters, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Damage and effects that say destroy, don't destroy it. Okay. We have Evolving Wilds. Dragon's Brood Relic. Tap an untapped creature you control and add 1 mana of any color. This is an expensive mana cost, more than I can cast as a Magic the Gathering player. And sacrifice this artifact. Create a 4/4 dragon 4/4 dragon creature token named Reliquary Dragon. That's all colors. It has flying, lifelink, and when this token enters, it deals 3 damage to any target. Activate only as a sorcery. Alright. Glacial Dragon Hunt. Sorcery. Pay blue or red. Okay. Draw a card, and you may discard a card. You may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Glacial Dragon Hunt deals 3 damage to target creature. That is really nice. And it has Harmonize, and basically Harmonize is where you can reduce its spell cost, where X is its total power, and you just cast it from your graveyard, and then once you've recast it, you just exile it after that. That's multicolor. Ooh, Desperate Measures. Target creature gets a +1/-1 until end of turn. When it dies under your control this turn, draw 2 cards. Okay. That's not bad. Kintree Severance. It is a white, black, and a green. Exile target permanent with mana value 3 or greater. Pretty sweet. Ooh. I think I might have saw this card in a pre-release pack from somebody. The art on the Magic cards is super neat. Oh, yes, they are. They are very unique. This has Trample, and when Felithar enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That is a nice 3-drop commander. That is really nice. And we got Lightfoot Technique. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and it gains flying and indestructible until end of turn. I really like this art of this card. It has a guy wielding a bamboo hat and has a staff at the end of it. I like that. That's really cool. And then final card is just basically a swamp, and then an art card, which some of these art cards you get. I kind of like the look of that. Who is that? That is a rolling Dragonstorm. That is really cool. That is really cool. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, treasure token. And we have Dismal Backwater. This land enters tap. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. Add blue or black. That's awesome. I love those lands. Up next, we have another Desperate Measures. I don't need to explain that card because I kind of explained it already, but it's just another dupe card I got. Up next, we have... Oh! Zergo Thunder's Decree. Alright. We have Mobilize 2. When this creature attacks, create 2 tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. During your end step, warrior tokens you control have this token cannot be sacrificed. Such a good card. Oh my god. My buddy Tiny Web is going to freak out about this card. He is going to lose his mind. Oh man, that is a nice rare. Absolutely nice. And I might make a commander out of that since I didn't buy the Zergo Precon like he did. We have... Oh, yes! Let's go! We pulled a Misrich Village! Alright! This land enters tapped unless you control a mountain or a forest. And I tap blue. And if I can pay a blue, I tap it. The next spell you cast this turn cannot be countered. Oh, this is one of the cards I wanted. Let's go, boys and girls. Oh, man, that makes me happy. Let's go. W. Alright, next card is Formation Breaker. 1 generic, 1 green. Creatures with power less than this creature's power can't block it, as long as you control a creature with a counter on it. This creature gets a +1/+2. That's really good. Up next, we have Mardu Monument. Alrighty. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic mountain, plains, or swamp card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. And you may pay 2 generic, a red, white, and a black. That is a total of 5 mana. Tap it, sacrifice this artifact. Create 3 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. They gain menace and haste until end of turn and activate only as a sorcery. Alright, up next we have Whirlwind Stormbrood. And I don't know if I pulled this card yet or not, but I'm just going to read it. Dynamic Sword, pay 2 generic, 1 green. Sorcery Omen, put 3 1/1 counters on target creature you control, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. Has Flash and Flying. You may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells as though that they had Flash. Alright. Up next, we have Aggressive Negotiations. Okay. I had this card in the pre-release pack. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Alright. Up next, we have Rescue Leopard, a cat creature. Okay. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, you draw a card. So discarding to get you card draw. Okay, that's decent. Up next, we have Stormplane Detainment. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Oh, alright. I like the sound of that. Up next, we have... oh, this is a Durgar Island Dragon. Skimming Strike. Instant Omen. Tap up to 1 target creature. Draw a card. Then shuffle this card into its owner library. Flying. Okay, I think I've already read this card. But yeah, this is not a bad card. We have up next Undergrowth Leopard. It is a 2-drop creature cat. Vigilance. Pay 1. Sacrifice this creature. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay. Up next we have Sandskitter Outrider. Black Goblin. Menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. When this creature enters and endures 2, put 2 1/1 counters on it, or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. And then up next, we have Seize Opportunity. It's an instant. Choose 1, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Up to 2 target creatures get +2/+1 until end of turn. Sweet. Very cool. Alright, next pack. Here we go. Alright, starting off with a monk token. Alright. Up next, we have... What do we got? Rugged Highlands. Just basically this land enters tab. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. Awesome, I like that. We have... Rebellious Strike. Instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. You draw a card. I like the sound of that already. That sounds nice. Okay, we got Bloomvine Regent. Alrighty. So this has Claim Territory. And then Sorcery's Omen. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards. Reveal them. Put 1 onto the battlefield tab and the other into your hand. Then shuffle. Also shuffle this card. Flying. Whenever this creature or another dragon you control enters, you gain 3 life. That's cool. That's a cool rare. Up next, we have Teeming Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, create 2 white soldier creature tokens. Or 2/2/2 white soldier creature tokens. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Up next, we get Effortless Master, Orc Monk, Vigilance, Menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. This creature enters with a 2/1 or +1/+1 counters on it if you have cast 2 or more spells this turn. Not very many multicolored cards. You can tell that from all the cards I've pulled. Alright, up next, we have Channel Dragonfire. Channel Dragonfire deals 2 damage to any target. That sounds nice for a 1-drop. And Harmonize is just basically you can cast it from the graveyard. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power, and then exile the spell. Alright. Up next, we have Aggressive Negotiations. I kind of already read that card, so we're going to move on. Up next, we have Unburied Earthcarver. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay, up next. Sarkhan's Resolve. Alright. Choose 1. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Destroy target creature with flying. That sounds nice. Alright. Alicia's Legacy. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. Damage and effects that say destroy it, don't destroy it. That sounds nice. Up next, Fire Rim Form, Enchantment, Aura, Flash, enchant creature. When this aura enters, enchant creature gains first strike until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0. Oofda. Alright, up next, we have Poise Practitioner. And it's a human monk, Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Scry 1, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library. Doesn't state that on there, but I just like to read the extra text because it's important for Magic the Gathering players, what scrying does. Alright, up next we have Ringing Strike Mastery. It is a enchantment aura, enchanted creature. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. I saw this. This card annoyed me a heck ton during the pre-release battles. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Enchanted creature has pay 5, untap this creature. So, say I place this down on someone's board, and they have a target creature that I don't like. I could play this, and they'd have to pay 5 mana each time if they want to play that creature, which is a nice blue enchantment aura. I saw this, and I'm like, that's a really good card. And the final one is Champion of Duzon. It has Trample and Renew. Exile this card from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter and a trample counter on target creature, and activate only as a sorcery. Alright. Next pack, here we go. Oops. Alrighty. Alright. Token. We got Dismissal Blackwater, or Backwater, not Blackwater. Land enters tab. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. You pay blue or black for it. We got Unburied Earth Carver. I read that to you already. We're gonna move on. We got... Ooh! Thunder of Unity. Okay. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Saga 2. Whenever a creature you control enters this turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That sounds like fun in Zergo. Alright, up next we have Storm Beacon Blade. Equipped creature gets a +3/+0, and whenever equipped creature attacks, draw a card if you control 3 or more attacking creatures, and you pay 2 to equip it to a creature that you control. Alright. Up next, we have Lie in Wait. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Lie in Wait deals damage equal to that card's power to target creature. Alright. Up next, we have Iridescent Tiger. When this creature enters, if you cast it, add these 5 mana colors. So pretty much pentacolors, to be honest. That's pretty sweet. We got up next Hardened Tactician. I think we pulled this, but if not, pay 1, sacrifice a token, and draw a card. Okay. I like this already, because in the deck, where if I'm creating tokens and you make it a copy of that creature type, I just draw a card, which is nice. That's really nice. So, up next, we have Tamir Tonback. Okay, we've pulled that card before. Up next, we have Jade Cass Sentinel. Artifact creature eats snake. Has reach, pay 2. Put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. Okay, that sounds nice. Alright, let's see what else we get. Focus the Mind instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast. If you cast another spell this turn, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. That sounds nice. Up next, we have Trade Route Envoy. It's a dog. Alrighty. More dogs. When this creature enters, draw a card. If you control a creature with a counter on it, if you don't draw a card this way, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Up next, we have Feral Deathgorger. Alright, it has Dusk Sight. Sorcery Omen. Put a 1/1 counter up to 1 target creature, draw a card, then shuffle this card onto its owner's library. Flying and Death Touch. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. That is nice. That's really nice. Alright. Up next, we got Shock Brigade. Goblin Soldier. Ooh, my buddy's gonna love this. Menace. This creature can be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. My buddy's gonna love this. He is going to love that goblin card. Up next, we have Osseous Exhale. Instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may behold a dragon. You You may choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. Audi's Exhale deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If a dragon was beheld, you gain 2 life. Alright. Here we go. Alright. We have a monk. And up next, we got Bloodfilled Caves. When this land enters tap, when this land enters, you gain 1 life. Up next, we have Tarkir Monument. Alright, we scored. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic forest, island, or mountain card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. If I were to pay 3 generic, agreed, blue and a red, that's 6 mana total. Sacrifice this artifact, create a 5/5 green elephant creature token, activate only as a sorcery. Sweet. I wanted that. That was really cool. Up next, we got Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. Alright. You could tap it for colorless. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color to spend this mana only to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. Pay 4, tap it, sacrifice this land, search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. That's cool. I'm glad I got that. Alright. Up next, we got Rune Scale Stormbrood. Chilling Screech, instant omen, counter target spell with mana value 2 or less, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell or a dragon spell, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Alright, up next we have another Tarkir Monument. That's crazy. I didn't think I was going to be pulling this twice. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic forest, island, or mountain card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Nice. That's 2 Tarkir Monuments. I'm glad I got that. Alright, up next, Duty Beyond Death. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's really nice. Alright. Up next, we have 100 Battle Veteran, and it's a zombie. Okay. As long as there are 3 or more different kinds of counters among creatures you control, this creature gets +2/+4. You may cast this card from your graveyard. If you do, it enters with a finality counter on it. If a creature with a finality counter on it would die, exile it instead. And it's a 4/2. Wow. That is a 6/6. That's a nice zombie card. I'm thinking of putting that in one of my zombie decks. That is nice. Heritage Reclamation. Choose one. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, and draw a card. Oof, excuse me. Up next, we have Sibsig Appraiser. It is a zombie advisor. Okay. When this creature enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Okay. I like that. That is really nice. Up next, we have Narset's Rebuke. It deals 5 damage to target creature. Add blue, red, white. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. I think I've already pulled that. Up next, we have Coordinated Maneuver. Choose one. Coordinated Maneuver deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. Destroy target enchantment. And it's an instant. Up next, we have Riverwalk Technique. Instant. Choose one. So the owner of target non-land permanent puts it on their choice at the top or bottom of the library. Counter target non-creature spell. I think I already pulled that as well. We're gonna keep going. Ananoic Wayfarer Dog Scout. When this creature enters mill of 3 cards, you may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. To mill 3 cards, put the top 3 cards from your library into your graveyard. And then, final one of that pack is Adored Crocodile. And I think, yeah, we already pulled this. On to the next. Alright. Token. And we got Wing Scared Crag. This land enters tap. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. Awesome. Up next, we have Knockout Maneuver. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature controlled, then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Up next, we have... Ooh, Hollow Merc Siege. Okay. As this enchantment enters, choose Sultai or Abzan. Sultai, whenever counter is put on a creature you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Abzan, whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains menace until end of turn. That's a nice rare. Up next, we have... Yes! Let's go! Yes! We got Roar of the Endless Song. Oh my god. I'm so glad I didn't buy that at my local game store, because I wanted to get this card. Alright. So, this is Enchantment Saga for Tamir. Create a 5/5 green elephant creature token, and I do that on Saga 2 as well. And then Saga 3, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. W! That's another card I wanted. Alright, let's see what we get. Host of the Hereafter, black-green zombie warlock. This creature enters with 2 1/1 counters on it. When this creature or another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put its counters on up to 1 target creature you control. Alright. Up next, we have Sunset Strike Master. It is a human monk. That is going to be really nice for Avatar The Last Airbender beyond... it's not Secret Lair, but it's beyond boosters. Okay, you tap it, add red, pay 2, 1 red, sacrifice this creature. It deals 6 damage to target creature with flying. That's going to sound nice for the Avatar set. If there are any Avatar cards that resolve in monks, or buffing up monks. Okay, up next, we have Kuru the Gold Keeper. Flying. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, create a treasure token. It's an artifact with tap, sacrifice this token, add 1 mana of any color, renew. Exile this card from your graveyard, put 2 1/1 counters and flying counter on target creature to activate only as a sorcery. Up next, we have Monastery Messenger. Flying and Vigilance. When this creature enters, put up to 1 target non-creature non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. Alright. Not bad. Up next, we have Humbling Elder. Flash. When this creature enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Okay, what do we got next? Roamer's Routine. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle, and then pretty much just harmonize. That's nice. We got Dragon's Parade. This spell costs 2 more to cast if it targets a dragon. Destroy target creature. I think I got that from my pre-release pack. Alright, up next, we have Jeskai Devotee. Creature Orc Monk Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. Pay 1, add blue, red, or white. Activate only once each turn. Alright, up next, we have Dragonback Lancer. Flying, mobilize 1 whenever this creature attacks. Create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. And the next one of that pack is Agent of Kotis. Renew. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Up to the next pack. Here we go. Alright. Art card, pretty much. That's pretty sweet. Put that with that stack. Alright, we get Rugged Highlands. This land enters tap. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. Skip that one. If there's any lands, I'll skip it. Shock Brigade. I think I read that already. But if I didn't, mana this creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice at the beginning and the next end step. My buddy's gonna love that. I think I have extras of those now. Hey Frost, what's going on? I'm opening up the Tarkir Dragonstorm. Oh yes! Let's go! Yes! Oh my god, Frost, I love you so much, bro. Flying protection from white and from black. When your ready enters, it deals X damage divided. Yes! Let's go! Oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't pay $10 at my local game store for that. Oh, that is huge. My buddy's gonna be pleased with that. Yes! Oh my god. That was such a good pull. Let's go. Alright. Yes. Oh my god, that had me hyped. Let's see what else we get. Sun Pearl Kirin. Flash and Flying. When this creature enters, return up to 1 target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it was a token, draw a card. Nice, just having sleep issues a bit worse than... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad you come to watch the stream because, can't sleep. Well, looking at what I pull is gonna be really nice to see. And I mean, hey, you never know. See what else we get. Yes, another one of those. Sweet. I could always use more of those. Alright. Venerated Storm Slinger. Or Storm Singer. Okay. Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Up next, we have Rainveil Rejuvenator. When this creature enters, you may mill 3 cards. Just put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, and then tab it at an amount of green equal to this creature's power. Wow, that's a nice mana drop card. Or to get mana out, if you're struggling to get lands. Embermouth Sentinel. I got 2 of these from my pre-release pack. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle, put that card on the top. If you control a dragon, put that card into the battlefield tapped instead. That's nice. Alright. Up next, we have Reputable Merchant, also pulled from my pre-release pack. When this creature enters or dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Snowmelt Stag. Vigilance. During your turn, this creature has base power and toughness of 5/2. This creature cannot be blocked this turn. Oh, wow. So you can pay 5 generic and 2 blue, so that's a total of 7. Wow. Up next, we have Piercing Exhale. As additional cost to cast this spell, you may behold a dragon. You may choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. If a dragon was beheld, surveil 2. Asban Devotee, Dog Cleric. Okay, I also pulled this from my pre-release pack. Pay 1, add white, blue, black, or green. Activate only once each turn. You may pay 2 generic and 1 black. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Nice card to throw in the graveyard. Up next, Malicious Artesian. It's a Djinn Artificer. Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. When this creature enters, you create a treasure token. And Mardu Devotee is our last card. When this creature enters Scry 2, look at the top 2 cards of your library, then put any number of them on the bottom and the rest on the top in any order. Pay 1, add red, white, or black, activate only once each turn. You pull a Draken Genesis or however it's spelled yet? Not yet, no, I haven't. But as you can see, my best pulls so far have been basically the rares right here. It's kind of hard to see, but later on when we get to if I put cards in and I'll talk to you about it later on, but hopefully soon. Yeah, I do want Draco Genesis. I really do. That is one of the target cards I'm looking for. So far I've been pulling cards that I really want so far, so that's really good. Alright. Art card of, what card is that? Plains, just a land. Alright. We get Jungle Hollow. This land enters tab. When this land enters, you gain 1 life. I really love how they did these lands so cool. Like, how they did them for the set. Dragonstorm Forecaster. Pay 2, tap it. Search your library for a card named Dragonstorm Globe or Boulder-born Dragon. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Up next, we have... Ooh! Narset! Jeskai Waymaster. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of spells you casted this turn. I think I pulled that already. I'm not certain. I might have. But anyways, let's go ahead, pull our next card. Ooh. Tersa Light Shatter. Legendary creature Orc Wizard has haste. When Tersa Light Shatter enters, discard up to 2 target cards, then draw that many cards. When Tersa Light Shatter attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard, and you play that card this turn. Alright. See, our next card is Fresh Start. Has, oh wow, Flash, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets -5 and -0 and loses all abilities. That's a nice card. Up next, we have Overwhelming Surge. Overwhelming Surge deals 3 damage to target creature. Destroy target non-creature artifact. Up next, we have Dragonclaw Strike, and it's in Tamir. Sorcery. Double the power and toughness of target creature you control till end of turn. Then it fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Each deals damage to equal. Oh my god, yes! Up next, Aggressive Negotiations. Okay, yep, I've pulled that card already. Move on. Humbling Elder. Flash. When this creature enters, target creature of an opponent controls gets -2, -0 until end of turn. Up next, we have Roamer's Routine. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle. And then Harmonize is basically you can cast this card from your graveyard for its Harmonize cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its total. Where is its power? Then exile this spell. Alright. Up next, Dragon's Prey. I've already pulled that. We're gonna move on. Basically, it's just the spell costs 2 more to cast. If it targets a dragon, then destroy target creature. Okay, Jeskai Devotee. Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gets +1/+1 until end turn. Pay 1, add blue, red, or white. Activate only once each turn. I might have pulled that, which I have pulled that. Okay. Up next, Dragonback Lancer. Alright. It is flying, mobilize 1 whenever this creature attacks. Create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. That's nice. And our final card is Ancient of Kotis. And I think I might have pulled an Ancient of Kotis, but exile this card from your graveyard, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. Alright. Sweet. Alright. Okay, here we go. So, we got token. Up next, we have Thornworm Falls. I already have that land, but it's just basically when it enters, you gain 1 life. You can pay it for, you can tap it for blue or green. And we have Riling Dawnbreaker. Okay. Signaling Roar, Sorcery Omen, create a 2/2 white soldier creature token, and shuffle this card into its owner's library. Flying and Vigilance, at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Up next, we have, Surrak the Elusive Hunter. Legendary creature, human warrior. The spell can't be countered. Trample. Whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Alright. Up next, we have Fresh Start. I already pulled that. Okay. Overwhelming Surge. I have also pulled that. Up next, Dragonclaw Strike. Nice. Another one. Alright. Wayspeaker Bodyguard. When this creature enters, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, tap target creature and opponent controls. Sweet. Up next, we have Dragonstorm Globe. I think, yep, I already pulled one of these from my pre-release pack, but each dragon you control enters an additional 1/1 counter on it. And tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Lightfoot Technique. Yes, another one. Alright. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and it gains flying and indestructible until end of turn. Alright. Wild Ride. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. And then Harmonize, you may cast a spell for your graveyard for its Harmonize cost. Tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power. You can exile it. Up next, we have Salt Road Pack Beast. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. When this creature enters, you draw a card. Up next, Ice Ridge Serpent. I think I already pulled that. Up next, we have Sultai Devotee. Already pulled that as well. And then finally, Delta Bloodflies. Flying whenever this creature attacks. If you control a creature with a counter on it, each opponent loses 1. Alright, last one on that stack over here on my left hand that you guys can't see. Alright, we got Art Card, Desperate Measures. Ooh, that's gonna be kind of cool. We got, that's kind of neat. Alright. Up next, we have Rugged Highlands. Already have that. Up next, Sunstep Citadel, Foil. Next, Revival of the Ancestors. Okay. Create 3 1/1 white spirit creature tokens. On Saga 1, Saga 2, distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 or 3 target creatures you control. On Saga 3, creatures you control gain trample and lifelink until end of turn. Sweet. Up next, we have, yes, another Dragonfire Blade. Let's go. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, and it has Hexproof from monocolor. Equip 4, its ability costs 1 less to activate for each color of the creature it targets. Sweet. I have 2 of those now. Up next, Ureni's Rebuff. Ooh, return target creature to its owner's hand. That's really nice. And then Harmonize. I basically kind of explain Harmonize. Up next, we have Traveling Botanist, Dog Scout. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. If you don't put the card into your graveyard, you may put it into your graveyard. Up next, we have River Wheel Sweep. Tap target creature, put 3 stun counters on it. If a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove 1 from it instead. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. Alright. Up next, we have Stormshriek Feral. Discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards and shuffle this card into its owner's library. Flying in haste. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Alright. Nightblade Brigade. I think I've already pulled this, but I'm going to read it one more time. Death Touch, Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create an attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. When this creature enters, surveil 1. You look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Alright. Up next. Devoted Duelist. Ooh, okay. Haste Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Alright, up next. Fortress Kidguard. Already have that card. Up next. Humbling Elder. Also pulled that. Snakeskin Veil. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Gains hexproof until end of turn. Can't beat the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. Alright. And then, final card, Dragon's Prey. Already pulled that. Alright. We are doing pretty good, actually. Alright. Token. Land. Sarkon's Resolve. I pulled that already. Stillness in Motion. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards that if your library has no cards in it, exile this enchantment and put 5 cards from your graveyard on the top of your library in any order. Up next, we have Formation Breaker. Creatures with power less than this creature's power can't block it as long as you control a creature with a counter on it. This creature gets +1/+2. Alright, so we have up next Constrictor Sage. When this creature enters, tap target creature to opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. Exile this card from your graveyard, tap target creature to opponent controls, and put a stun counter on it, activate only as a sorcery. Sultai Monument. Alright. Up next, Duty Beyond Death. It's an additional cost to cast a spell. Sacrifice a creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible till end of turn. Might have pulled that. Not certain. Monastery Messenger. Pulled that as well. Moving on. Oh. These cards are ready to like fall from the stack. Because they keep stacking up. Another Lightfoot Technique. Okay. Got multiple. I got so many of those. Osseous Exhale, I also have that. Just read that, actually. High Spire Bellringer. Flying, the second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. Alright. Up next, we got Kroteg Nestguard. I think I already pulled that. But Defender, this creature can attack this turn as though it didn't have Defender. Huh, interesting. Up next, Caustic Exhale. As additional cost to cast a spell, will hold a dragon or pay 1. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Sweet. And the final card is, hey, another goblin. Underfoot Underdogs. Nice. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Pay 1, tap target creature you control with power 2 or less. It can't be blocked this turn. That's a nice goblin card. Alright. Ooh, I'm getting some goblin tokens. That's really nice. I might consider building a goblin deck because I do own Krenko. I've heard good things about Krenko. Mob boss. Alright. Swift Water. Okay, Swift Water Cliffs. That's a land. Basically just enters. You gain 1 life. Mowing Wilds. Ooh! Another Sinkhole Surveyor, but an alt art. Flying, when this creature attacks, you lose 1 life, and this creature endures 1. Nature's Rhythm. Search your library for a creature card of mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. Okay, interesting. Inspirited Vanguard. When this creature enters or attacks, it endures 2. Put 2 1/1 counters on it, or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. Up next, Skirmish Rhino. Trample. When this creature enters, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Nice. Up next, Starry-Eyed Skyrider. Flying. When this creature attacks, another target creature you control gains flying until end of turn. Attacking tokens you control have flying. That sounds nice. Alright, up next. Oh, nice. Another Big Appraiser. I already pulled that. Ringing Strike Mastery. I already pulled that. It's really nice as well. Champion of Duzon. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 counter on a trample counter on a target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Up next, Kintree Nutrer. Lifelink. When this creature enters, it endures 1. Up next, Narset's Rebuke. Narset's Rebuke deals 5 damage to target creature. Okay, I think I've pulled that as well many times. And then Salt Road Pack Beast. I already pulled that. And final one is Ice Ridge Serpent. When this creature enters, return target creature to opponent control suit. So I also pulled that as well. Alright. Ooh, monk tokens. Alright. Okay. Token. Up next, we have Tranquil Cove. Alright. Up next. Ooh! Stormshriek Feral. Alt art. That feels nice. Flying in haste. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That is really nice. I really like the art of that card. Reminds me of Slifer the Sky Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the Egyptian god cards. That's really cool. I like that art. Up next, we have Ambling Stormshell. Nice. War 2. Whenever this creature attacks, put 3 stun counters on it. Draw 3 cards. If a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove one from it instead. Whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. Up next, Essence Anchor. Beginning of your upkeep, surveil one. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Ooh, tap it, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Activate only during your turn and only if a card left your graveyard this turn. Okay, that sounds nice for my zombie deck. Alright. Kishalaw's Skimmer. Flying, whenever a card leaves your graveyard during your turn, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Alright, up next. Shocking Sharpshooter. Reach, whenever another creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. Up next, Sonic Shrieker. Mardu. Flying, when this creature enters, deals 2 damage to any target. You gain 2 life. If a player is dealt damage this way, they discard a card. Alrighty. Multicolor. Up next, Jadecast Sentinel. I think I've pulled that already. Up next, Dragonstorm Globe. Also pulled that already. Dispelling Exhale as additional... Oh! It's additional cost to cast a spell. You may behold a dragon. You may choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If a dragon was beheld, counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. Nice. Up next, Snakeskin Veil. Already pulled that. Nightblade Brigade. Also pulled that. Another card. Twin Bolt. Twin Bolt deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Alright. And then final card is Fortress Kingguard. Already have that. Alright. And let's see here. Okay. Token. We have scored burns. Basically, white or black. When it enters, you just gain 1 life. And then we have Glacial Dragon Hunt. Draw a card, then you may... I think I've already pulled that card, but we're going to read it anyway. You may discard a card. When you do discard a non-land card this way, Glacial Dragon Hunt deals 3 damage to target creature. Alright. Up next. Ooh. Oh my god. Boys and girls, we pulled it. Holy crap. We did it. Nirav, Heart of the Storm. As soon as I saw cards for the set, I thought about building this, and now I can. Flying, if a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. W's in the chat, please. That is a good card. I'm so glad we pulled that. Oh, man. Alright, next. Windblade Disciple. Whatever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Alright, up next. Krumar Initiate. Oh, I've already pulled that. Next. Abzan Monument. I caught myself there. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic plains, swamp, or forest card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Sweet. Up next. Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Reputable Merchant. I think I've pulled that already, but I'm going to read it again. When this creature enters or dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Alright. Unburied Earth Carver. Oh god, this card. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Up next. Arashin Sunshield. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Pay a white, tap it, tap target creature. Sweet. Alright. Unending Whisper. Pay blue, draw a card, and harmonize. Sounds sweet. Alright, we got Sagu Pummeler. Renew, exile this card from your graveyard, put 2 1/1 counters and a reach counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. Up next. Worthy Cost. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Oh, yeah, this card. I despise that card already for play the pre-release. Molten Exhale. You may cast a spell as though it had flash if you behold a dragon as an additional cost to cast. To behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control, or reveal a dragon card from your hand. Molten Exhale deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright. There we go. Okay. Art card for whoever that is Narset Jeskai Waymaster. That sounds sweet. Alright. We got that again. More land. Nightblade Brigade. Already had that. Ooh, Kotus the Fangkeeper. Legendary creature, Zombie Warrior. Indestructible. When Kotus deals combat damage to a player, exile the top X cards of their library where X is the amount of damage dealt. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Alrighty. Up next, we have Strategic Betrayal. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. Oh, wow. And they exiled their graveyard. That's kind of scary. Ooh, nice. Another Opulent Palace. I'll take more of those. Up next. Frontline Rush. It's a red and white. Choose one, create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. That sounds sweet. I like the sound of that for Nirav. Alright, up next. Bewildering Blizzard. Draw 3 cards. Creatures your opponents control get -3, -0 until end of turn. Alrighty. Up next. Gurmag Nightwatch. When this creature enters, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library. Put the rest into your graveyard. Alright, up next. Stormshriek Feral. I've already pulled that. Agent of Kodos. Already also pulled that. Sarkon's Resolve. Also pulled that as well. Alicia's Legacy. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Indestructible till end of turn. That sounds nice. Alright. Fire Rim Form. Flash enchant creature. When it enters, enchanted creature gains first strike until end. Okay, I think I've already pulled that, yeah. And final card is Poise Practitioner. Yeah, but I already also pulled that as well. Moving on. I really need to buy one of those card openers if I ever open packs like this again on stream. Okay. There's a token. We got that land again. Unending Whisper. Draw a card. Okay, I've pulled that before as well. Another Dragonfire Blade. Okay. Yep, I've already read that to you guys. Sweet. Next card is... Ooh. Twin Maw Stormbrood. Okay, Cheering Bite deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. Flying, when this creature enters, you gain 5 life. Wow, that's nice. And it's an alt art. Twin Maw Stormbrood. Also pulled that as well. Actually, that's... Gotta go over here. Bam and bam. Alright, next card is... Equilibrium Adept. I've seen this card. When this creature enters, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Flurry, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gains double strike until end of turn. This is a very nice dog. I would put that in a dog deck if I were you. My friend who's ever watching, if they ever own a dog deck. Ooh. Ornament Dragon. Flying. When this creature enters, distribute 3+1/+1. Wait, distribute 3+1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. That sounds really nice. Dustyet Earthcarver. I've already pulled that. Okay. High Spire Bellslinger. Flying, the second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. Ooh, that sounds nice. Up next. Sagu Wildling. Flying, when this creature enters, you gain 3 life. Cruel Truth. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Evolving Wilds. And, let's see. Devoted Duelist. Nice. That's good, because my buddy's going to want one of these Goblin cards, so that's sick. And then our final, Bearer of Glory. Okay, I've pulled that as well. Alright. Let's keep going. We're not done yet, guys and girls. Alright. Alright. Treasure Token. Beautiful treasure token. Alright, we got land. Up next, Rally the Monastery. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you cast another spell this turn. Choose one. Create 2 1/1 white monk creature tokens. With Prowess, up to 2 target creatures you control each get +2/+2 till end of turn. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Alrighty. Up next, we have... Ooh! Tygam, Master Opportunist. Legendary creature, human monk, Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend. Nice. That's nice. Quarry Mountain Monastery lands. Okay. This land enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. Tap it, add red. You pay 3 and 1 red. Tap it, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Jeskai Brushmaster, Double Strike Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay. Up next, Reverberating Summons. At the beginning of each combat, if you casted 2 or more spells this turn, this enchantment becomes a 3/3 monk creature with haste in addition to its other types until end of turn. You may pay a red, 1 generic, 1 red, discard your hand, sacrifice this enchantment, and draw 2 cards. Where are my moderators at when I need them? I hate when I get that, man. Those bots. Rally the Monastery. I think I pulled that already. Up next, Boulderborn Dragon. Alrighty, I've seen this in the pre-release packs against people that I played against. Flying and Vigilance. Whenever this creature attacks, surveil 1. This is a really nice card. Molecculous Artisan is a Djinn Artificer. Prowess. When this creature enters, create a treasure token. Okay. I might have pulled that card, but I don't really remember. Martyr Devotee. When this creature enters, scry 2. I think I pulled that as well. Our next is Focus the Mind. Okay, this spell costs 2 less to cast. If you cast another spell this turn, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Alright. Trade Route Envoy. When this creature enters, draw a card if you control a creature with a counter on it. If you don't draw a card this way, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Alright, up next. Abzan Devotee. I already pulled that. And last one of that. Shock Brigade. Goblin Soldier. Master creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Mobilize 1. When this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Nice. Alright, last of this stack. And then we're down to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packs left. Okay. Alright. Alrighty. Dragon token. Nice. Tranquil Cove. Land. Stormplane Containment. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Alright. Up next, we got Laysod Prowler, Snake Ranger. Alrighty. When this creature enters, you may mill cards equal to the number of lands you control. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put an X +1/+1 counters on target creature where X is the number of land cards in your graveyard. Activate only as a sorcery. Up next, we have Stalwart Successor. Menace. Whenever 1 or more counters are put on a creature you control, if it's the first time counters have been put on that creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Lockstone Battle Priest, Elfin Cleric. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature you control. Alright. Up next, Jeskai Shrine Keeper. Flying in haste. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Up next, Synchronized Charge. Distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures you control. Creatures you control with counters on them gain vigilance and tremble until end of turn. Alrighty. Sweet. Up next, we have Mouse Sentinel. Ooh, I like the look of that. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle and put that card on the top. If you control a dragon, put that card onto the battlefield tapped instead. Ooh, nice. And if that card has haste, I can make it attack immediately, which is nice. I've pulled that already. Already pulled that. Roamer's Routine. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle. Alright. Okay. Dragon's Prey, already pulled that as well. And Jeskai Devotee, I've also pulled that as well. And our final is Dragonback Lancer. I think I've already pulled that. Flying Mines, yep, alright. Moving on to our final 10 packs. Here we go. Hoofda. This is going to be a fun time. I'm hoping to God I get the one card I'm looking for, because if I get it, it's GG. Alright. Goblin Creature Token. Up next, we have Land. And we pull Feral Death Gorger. Flying Death Touch when this creature enters exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Omen cost, put a 1/1 counter up to 1 target creature. Draw a card. Mardu Siegebreaker. Alright. It has Death Touch and Haste. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. Whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tap token that's a copy of the exiled card attacking that opponent. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice those tokens. Wow. Alright. Another Feral Death Gorger. Alt Art. Auroral Procession. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Alright, up next. Salt Road Skirmish. Destroy target creature. Create 2 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. They gain haste until end of turn. Sacrifice them at the beginning of your next end step. That's a really nice card. Alright. Up next. Knockout Maneuver. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Wow. That's kind of mean. Reigning Victor. Mobilize 1 whenever this creature attacks. Okay, I don't need to read that. You just create a token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. When this creature enters, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Alright. Up next, we have Rebellious Strike. Target creature gets +3/+0 till end of turn and draw a card. Ooh, that sounds nice. Alright. Tamir Devotee. I think I've pulled that already, so we're going to move on. Crotique Nestguard. Also pulled that. Cost to Exhale. I also pulled that. And more Underfoot Underdogs. That's nice. I'm pulling more of these goblins. And then Tempest Hawk. Flying. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a card named Tempest Hawk, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. A deck can have any number of cards named Tempest Hawk? Dude, what? Okay. That sounds like fun. Making a bird deck with Tempest Hawk? That sounds like fun. Okay, I'll have to find the right commander for that. Anyhow. Alright. Spirit Token. And Land, Mountain. Kariak Guardian. Flying Vigils and Trample. This creature has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. Can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. That's kind of nice. Wow. Alright. That allows me to give me a blocker. And sick. Okay. Alright. Up next, we have Awaken the Honored Dead. Destroy target non-land permanent, mill 3 cards. You may discard a card. When you do, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Up next, we have Purging Stormbrood. Already pulled that. Unsparing Boltcaster. When this creature enters, it deals 5 damage to target creature and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Okay. Rakshana's Bargain. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Alright, up next. Dragonstorm Forecaster. Tap 2, search your library for a... Oh, yeah, I pulled this card before. Move on. Jadecast Sentinel. Pulled that as well. Alright. Tamir Tonbag. I've also pulled that as well. Seize Opportunity. Choose one, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Up to 2 target creatures get +2/+1 until end of turn. Alright. Stormplane Detainment. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battle. Oh yeah, I pulled that as well. Snow Melt Stag. Vigilance. During your turn, this creature has base power and toughness 5/2. This... Wow. Okay. Piercing Exhale is additional cast to cost a spell. You may behold a dragon. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. If a dragon was beheld, surveil 2. Alright. And then another Death Gorger. Okay. Next pack. Alright. Treasure Token. Land. Mythic Monastery. Another land. And let's see what we get. Stormscale Scion. Flying. Other dragons you control get +1/+1 and it's Storm. When you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. Copies become tokens. Okay. I like the sound of that. Up next, another Kotus the Fangkeeper. Not bad. Urani's Rebuff. On that. Static Snare. Ooh, okay. Printing on this looks really weird. Flash, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. When this enchantment enters, exile target artifact or creature and opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Up next. Bone Cairn Butcher. Demon. Mobilize 2 when this creature... Oh my god, create 2 tokens. Attacking tokens you control have Death Touch. I like the sound of that. Up next. Wingspan Stride. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. Pay 2 generic 1 blue. Turn this order to its owner's hand. Alright. Breacher of Glory, already had that. Dispelling Exhale, yep, already had that. Snakeskin Veil, also pulled that. More dupes. Nightblade Brigade, another dupe. Twin Bolt, another dupe, and another dupe. Okay. Alright, next pack. Alright. There we go. Token. Alright. And I'll go hollow. Alright. And Reigning Victor. I pulled that already. All Out Assault. Alright. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase when... Dude and dudettes. Oh my god. That is a nice card. Oh my god. That might be going in my Nero deck. Holy cow. X card. War Effort, creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever you attack, create a 1/1 red warrior creature token that's tapped and attack and sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Alright. Sage of the Fang. Yeah, I've read that card already. Nomad Outpost, sweet. Rolling Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards and discard a card. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Alright. Another Dragonstorm Globe. Monastery Messenger. Already have that. Unending Whisper. Draw a card. Yep, I already have that. More dupes. Sagu Pummeler on that. Worthy Cost. Oh my god, I hate that card, man. I played that card in my pre-release kit, and I kind of regret it. Molten Exhale. You may cast a spell as though it had flash if you hold a dragon as an additional cost to cast it. Molten Exhale deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Ooh, okay. And then... okay, I pulled that already. Alright. Alright. Token. Land. And Rescue Leper. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. I think I've already had that. Another Dragonfire Blade. Alright. Fleeting Effigy, haste at the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand. Alright, up next. Right of Renewal, return up to 2 target permanent cards of your graveyard to your hand. Target player shuffles up to 4 target cards of their graveyard into their library. Exile, Right of Renewal. Mammoth Bellow. Ooh, Tamir, create a 5/5 green elephant creature token. Harmonize. Sweet. Corroding Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life and you get to surveil 2. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment. Oh yeah, I think I pulled this as well. Up next. Heritage Reclamation. I think I pulled that. Ooh, Watcher of the Wayside. Golem. When this creature enters, target player mills 2 cards and you gain 2 life. To mill... oh my god, that sounds nice. Rescue Leopard, that one already. We just saw me pull that. Ooh, Riling Dawnbreaker. Flying minions at the beginning of combat on your turn. Another target creature control gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Let's wait. Okay. Digor Island Dragon. Pulled that already. Undergrowth Leopard, I also pulled that, and then Sandskitter Outrider. Menace, this creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. When this creature enters, it endures 2, put 2 1/1 counters on it, or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. Alright. Come on, Dracogenesis. That's what I'm hoping to get. I hope to God we get it. Hoping. Eski, the Dragon Claw. That's a beautiful card there. For art, we got Blossoming Sands. Next up, Ambling Stormshell, another turtle. Up next, ooh, Quarry Mountain Monastery again. Nice. Up next, Disruptive Stormbrood. Flying, when this creature enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. And if I were to do its omen cost, destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Alright. Next, we got Whale of War. Choose 1 creature's target opponent's control. Get a -1/-1 until end of turn. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Jessica Monument. When this artifact enters, search your... yeah, I think I've read that before. Alright. Yeah. Dragon Sniper. This is a nice 1-drop green card. I really like that card. Vigilance, Reach, and Death Touch. I played this at my pre-release pack. Up next. Boulderborn Dragon. Again, yes. When this creature attacks, Surveil 1 has flying and vigilance. Another Lightfoot technique. Man, they really must want me to get Samurai Warriors with bamboo hats as Magic the Gathering cards, which I really do want someday. Already had that card. Sagu Wildling, I also had that. Up next, Cruel Troops. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Evolving Wilds, and another Devoted Duelist. That's nice. Alright, we're down to 4 packs remaining. Alrighty. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I don't get Dracogenesis. I'll probably just end up buying it anyway. Alright. Monk. Creature token. Scored Barons, land. Alright, let's see what we get. Monastery Messenger. Up next. Ooh, Sidisi, Regan of the Mire. Oh, no way! Oh my god, yes. That was one of the zombie cards I wanted. Sacrifice a creature you control with mana value X other than Sidisi. Return target card from your mana value X+1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Let's go. Yes. And next card is Traveling Botanist. Already had that. River Wheel Sweep. Tap target creature. Put 3 Oh yeah, I pulled that already. Next, Marshal of the Lost. Death Touch. Whenever you attack, target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Okay. It's a big Appraiser. Ooh, nice. More of those. Sweet. What else do we have? Nice. Another Embermouth Sentinel. Got multiple of those now. Mardu Devotee. I have multiple of those as well. Focus the Mind. The spell costs 2 less to cast. If you cast another spell this turn, draw 3 cards and discard a card. Alright. Trade Route Envoy. Already have that. Feral Death Gorger. Also already have. Up next. Shock Brigade. More of them. Nice. And Ozzy's Exhale. Alright. We're nearly almost done with the pack opening. Oh my god. Alright. We got Token. Up next, Land, Thornwold Falls. We have Champion of Duzon. Already have. And next, Layside Prowler. When this creature enters, you may mill cards equal to the number of lands you control. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put X+1/1 counters on your target creature, where X is the number of land cards in your graveyard. Activate only as a sorcery. Alright, up next, Alchemist Assistant. Lifelink, it's a monkey. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a lifelink counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, interesting. Up next, Karyak Guardian. Oh yeah, I have that card already. Or at least I pulled it already. Ooh. Dalkovian Pack Beast. Vigilance. Mobilize 3. Whenever this creature attacks, create 3 tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. I like the sound of that. Alright. Stormshriek Feral. I already pulled that. Gurmag Night Witch. When this creature enters, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library. Put the rest into your graveyard. Alright. Adorned Crocodile. Already pulled that. Another dupe. Wild Ride. Also pulled that earlier. Coordinated Maneuver. Choose one. Coordinated Maneuver deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature. Blazewalker. Destroy target enchantment. Alright. River Walk Technique, pulled that already, and let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Annuak Wayfarer, when this creature enters, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Okay. And last one is Delta Blue Bloodflies. Flying when this creature attacks. If you control a creature with a counter on it, each opponent loses 1. We're down to our last 2 packs. Oh, it's not looking good, gentlemen and ladies. I hope Draco Genesis is in one of these 2 packs. If not, hey, at least I could Tarkir buy it. There's always that opportunity, despite the pricing. But anyway, token, land, Nomad Outpost, and Mardu Siegebreaker. Death Touch and Haste. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. Whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tap token that's a copy of the exile card. Oh, I think I pulled that already. And up next is Zergo's Vanguard. Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. This creature's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Gurmag Raksha. Menace. Can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. This creature enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn, and target creature you control gets a +2/+2 until end of turn. Alright. We pull Mystic Monastery. That's more land. Spectral Denial and spell cost. 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Counter target spell list its controller pays X. Wow. Okay. Up next, Reputable Merchant. I have that already. Up next, Unburied Earthcarver. Sacrifice another creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Alright. Tamir Devotee. Also have that already. Krotog Nestguard. Also have that. Costa Exhale. Also have that. Underfoot Underdogs, more goblins, nice, and another Tempest Hawk. I will take that. Nice. Final pack. Oh, please, 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 Wizards of the Coast. Please, I'm hoping to God this is a Draco Genesis. And it looks bent, so I'm hoping to God this is a good pack. Alright. Alrighty. See what we get. Goblin Token. We get Tranquil Cove. Another card is Hardened Tactician. Sacrifice a token, draw a card. Up next, we have Awaken the Honored Dead. Got that already. Up next, ooh, Hero Goldkeeper. Flying whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, create a treasure token. Alright. Ooh, Defibrillating Current. Defibrillating Current deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker and you gain 2 life. Descendant of Storms. When this creature attacks, you may pay 1. You may pay, 1 generic, 1 white. If you do, it endures 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on it, or create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. Up next, we have Aegis Sculptor. Flying Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Alright, up next, we got Watcher of the Wayside. Already pulled that. I think this is the end of the pull. Rebellious Strike. Yep, already have that. Ooh, Riling Dawnbreaker. Okay. Flying minions at the beginning of combat on your turn. Another target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Up next. There's no Melt Stag. I already had that. Now let's just see what the final 3 cards are. Yeah. Had that, and Piercing Exhale. Okay. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may behold a dragon. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature plays water. If a dragon was beheld, it's surveilled 2. Nice. Alright. Well, guys, that is the end. I'm gonna be honest. I think our best cards. Let's see. We pulled Awaken the Honored. Okay. Our rares and mythics were Awaken the Honored Dead, Mardu Siegebreaker, Layasad Prowler, Sidisi, Regan of the Mire. I'm so happy I pulled that. That's probably going to go in my zombie deck, to be honest. Quarry Mountain Monastery, Ambling Stormshell, Dragonfire Blade. I pulled so many of those. All Out Assault, Cortus the Fang Keeper, Stormscale Scion. I already, like I said, Awaken the Honored Dread, Mardu Siegebreaker, Layside Prowler, Tygum Master Opportunist, Dragonfire Blade, obviously a bunch of more dupes. Near of Heart of the Storm. I'm so happy I pulled this mythic. That was a really good pull. Ambling Stormshell, I pulled so many of those. Nature's Rhythm, Sinkhole Surveyor, I had pulled so many of those as well. Stillness in Motion, Revival of the Ancestors, Surak, Tursa the Light Shatter, Narset, Jeskai Waymaster, Ureni the Song Unending. I'm so happy I pulled this. I'm really glad. Roar of the Endless Song, which was another card. Hollowmere Siege, Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon, Thunder of Unity, Bloomvine Regent, Mistrise Village, Zergo Thunder's Decree, Velothar, Dawn of the Abzon, Smile at Death, Songcrafter Mage, Stadium Headliner, and then my final card was Narset, Jeskai Waymaster. That was all the rares and mythics. Chat, that was our first ever Magic the Gathering Play Booster opening. There we go. Overall, I gotta fix this and change it so this is back to normal. Give me like a couple seconds here. There we go. Alrighty. Let me flip my camera over. Properties. Flip vertically. See if that fixes it back. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Oh. Alright. There we go. Alright. Chat, that was our pack opening. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys want to see more like this, please again, like and subscribe. Leave a follow on Twitch if you ever come back across one of these pack openings ever again. And I'm gonna go put my cards away, get stuff added into Archidect, and you guys all have a great weekend, have a great night, and see you guys later. Peace out, everyone. Have a great night.